host. So we are going to take a break around 5 minutes or no? Yeah, minute. Yeah, around 5 minutes break because the host will be connected to the. Oh, it's already okay. Now we have 283 participants will be.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah, I think still what is tend to increase. I hope. Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Joseph, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Good morning.
Okay, good morning, Joseph.
Okay, good morning.
Is it night?
No, it's 8 in the morning.
Oh, so pretty good for you.
Yeah.
Maria is already connected.
Yeah, she's
Are
here.
You there? Okay. Hello, Maria.
Yes, hello.
Can you hear me? Can you
Yes.
hear me? Okay.
I'm here.
Good morning, Pak Putu. How are you? Please unmute. I can hear.
Pak Putu belum di-unmute.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm good, thank you. And how are you?
What time is there, Pak Putu?
It's now 12:30.
Oh, 12:30.
It's almost 1 o'clock now.
Okay. Thank you. So, if all are ready, so then we are going to start. Okay.
Okay.
How the host is already? Can we start? Still anything that you are going to?
Ready, sir.
Ready, sir.
Okay, already.
Already?
Yeah.
Okay.
They ready.
Okay, we start. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are very pleased to welcome you to join us in this AICONIC conference that take the theme library studies in the multicultural society. The issue of multicultural society has been actually studied, researched, and discussed by many experts from various fields, from various backgrounds, such as anthropology, sociology, culture, etc. And now, in this conference, our field also try to take part to what is discussed those issues. So we hope that this theme will be very interesting and important as information and knowledge to how to deal or to read various crucial issues that we are encountering today. And our understanding and awareness of the various culture that live in a society will help find the right solution in actions. And of course, it can be beneficial both individually and collectively as a society, as a nation, as an international community, and even to human ties in general. So in short, this theme find its synergic ground in our conference this time. The synergic point is not only related to the relevance of those issues we have nowadays. But also with the right speakers we have on this occasion. Those speakers are experts with relevant and qualified competence with our theme on this conference. Also, the speakers are figures in this field, so that you are not misled in your attendance on this conference. So then you will be able to find an important formulation with regard to how library studies reach issue of multicultural society in this from this conference. Then, so before we invite our speaker, please let me introduce them one by one. The first speaker, yeah, our distinguished and honorable speaker is Mr. Joseph Marmol Yap, Master of Labor Information Studies. And now here I got his CV that takes 20 pages, yeah, in explaining his activities and his achievement and others. So you can imagine if I'm going to read the pages, 20 pages, what is explaining the activities. So I think it is impossible to read all the pages. But what the point is that we today in this conference we have a very competent and productive, prolific speakers to this expert meeting or conference. And even though I'm going to read maybe the highlighted, or I think according to me, the important thing that I think that you need to understand is maybe first the academic background. Yeah, Mr. Yap, yeah, got his bachelor degree in labor information science at University of the Philippines, Dalaman, in 2006, and several years later, in 2010, he got Master of Labor Information Science in the same university. And then his professional experience here, what is written, there are 4 designations. So he is a very what is professional in his field, but I couldn't read all. Yeah, and also I just want to mention his honor, his awards. There are 17 words. Yeah, there are 17 words, but I just want to mention the latest awards he got from best what is the award called Best Corpus Journey from Elsevier Central Asia, November 2018. So you know, Scopus is very what is familiar, famous, especially in what is among lecturers around the world, especially lecturers in Indonesia. Okay, and there are also many scholarships grants he got, within the 17 around 15 years, and also short-term online training and professional activities. And I think also the most important to tell you that his publications, more than 100 works, including what is consists of books, book chapter, here we are going to see a proceeding, a journal article, and this article also many are indexed by Scopus, and also poster, magazine, newsletter, blog, many things involvement. So I think this is a very, very important introduction to our first speaker, that you don't have what is any chance to be doubt about our speaker today. And the second one, also the most famous speakers, yeah, especially Indonesia and even now in Australia, Pak Putu Laksman Pendit, PhD, yeah, also has I have here his CV. He called summarized CV. Summarized CV is already 7 pages. You can imagine if Pak Putu does not summarize his CV, it could be also tens of pages. So it is a very, very what is productive speaker. But now I am going to a little bit mention about his educational backgrounds. He got his bachelor degree in 1986, yeah, in Sekolah Tinggi Publisistik, and then in 1988 he got MA in Information and Library Science in Loughborough University of Technology, United Kingdom, and then he got his PhD in Information Management in School of Business Information Technology, RMIT University, Melbourne, Australia, December. I think it is also important to to mention or to tell you here, he has 2 addresses, one in Indonesia, yeah, the address is Desa Jatilui, Kecamatan Penebel, Tabanan, Bali, and the second address is in Houghton 3122, Melbourne, Australia. So I think Pak Putu now is in Australia. So, and also I think I couldn't read here all things, yeah, but we have to understand that he has also tens in even hundreds of works, yeah, consisting of books, journals, research, and many other kind of writing he did, yeah, along his journey in academic environment. Okay, I think because you know, our time is very limited, I'm given only 10 minutes to open this what is introductory to the speaker. And now we, okay, sorry, okay, he's going to deliver his speech on Pustaka Tradition and Transformation, a historical approach. Yeah. Okay, then we are going to move to the third speaker, also prolific and very active speaker, both local, national, and international. Now is I got also his CV here in summarized pages. name is Labiba Zain, Master of Library Information Studies. Now he is head of library of UIN Sunan Kalijaga. And okay, I want to mention a little bit his educational background. He graduated from UIN UIN Sunan Kalijaga. At that time we still call EIEN Sunan Kalijaga in 1992 in bachelor degree, and second degree is a Master of Library Information Science. He finished in the Graduate School of Library Studies, McGill University, Montreal. And his her work experience, we are going to know here the latest achievement in the organizational activity. In 2017, he became the president-elect of SLA Asian chapter, and then became president of the Special Library Association Asian chapter in 2018, and last is past president of SLA Asian chapter in 2019. In the last, I'm going to highlight for his CV here is, the several days ago, she got what is awards from Special Libraries Association 2020 Science, Technology, and Engineering Community Bonnie Hilditch International Librarian Awards. So from this little bit highlighting achievement, we can conclude that this speaker also is very productive, prolific, both in what is organizational activity and also her works in academic achievements. Okay, and then the last speaker. Oh, okay. Before move to the last speaker, I'm going to tell you her topic or her title for this conference: Preserving Indonesian Cultural Heritage through List Teaching Learning Activity at UIN Sunan Kalijaga, Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Okay, we move to the last introduction about the speaker. It is honorable speaker Maruya, Master Library of Information Science. She also has summarized summarized pages, but if I want to read, I think it is not. If I want to read all, it is. I do not have time to read all, because it will take more than 1 hour or even more. So I just want to highlight here also about his educational background. He finished bachelor degree in EIN Sunan Kalijaga, also in bachelor degree in the degree of comparative religions in the first degree of bachelor degree. And the second bachelor degree is in library science, got in 1999. And then the second, the master degree he got from graduate study of library information studies, McGill University, Montreal, Canada, in the field of library information studies. in 2004, and also many works also, but I'm going to mention one work that very relating to what he's going to speak today is he what is he just research about effective evaluation of capabilities and effectiveness of online public access catalog as an information retrieval tools at UI at the State Islamic University in Indonesia. And this work, I think, is very related to what we are going to speak today, global knowledge and the problem of information retrieval. Okay, that is, I think, a short introduction about our speaker. And I ask you to give your full attention to them when they are delivering their speech, because we are going to have discussion or question and answer after the last speaker. And now we are going to welcome them from the speaker one, as I just introduce them one by one. We are going to follow the turn. Now we are going to invite the speaker one, Mr. Yap, with a time for only 20-minute speech, and then followed by the next speaker in the same times. Okay, Mr. Yap, that is your times. Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Let me just share my screen.
Okay. That's your time.
My screen is there, right? You can see my screen now.
Okay, okay, it's clear.
Okay, thank you, Nordine, for that very generous introduction. So good morning, everyone. Good morning there in Yogyakarta, in all parts of Indonesia and around the world. Greetings from Kazakhstan. I hope I'm loud and clear. My name is Joseph Yap, and thank you for inviting me in the second AICONICS. Thank you, UI and Sunan Kalijaga, for this opportunity. So I will be talking about human books and human libraries. So I made a study out of it. So for your information, human library is actually 20 years. It's 20th year anniversary this year. So recognizing, excuse me, recognizing Indonesia as a diverse country with many cultural backgrounds, I hope that the presentation today will help you establish your own human library programs and understand the reason why we have this kind of program. So the title of my presentation is Unlocking the Lives of Human Books, Sharing Videos to Inspire People Hiding in. This will be the content of my presentation. I'll be talking about some background on human library, objectives of the study, the power of video sharing site, which is YouTube, my methodology, the results and analysis, and conclusion. So some issues here may be sensitive to you, right? So because we have our own prejudice. This is a work done by research and scientific analysis is employed. So everything is based on data. So if I may somehow offend some feelings, I hope you forgive me later on. Let us try to be objective and focus on the aims of the human library. So the human library started in Denmark in 2000. So the aim of the program is to challenge our stereotypes, to reduce prejudice and discrimination. It was founded by Ronnie Abergil, his brother, and his friends. It's based on stereotypes. You know, we have this overgeneralized belief of a particular group or class of people, like Indonesia, if it's a multicultural society, a group. So let's say in one aspect, there is some kind of culture which is not understandable to the other. So all we have to do is create some sort of a space for respect. Human library exists in 85 countries across 6 continents. So as mentioned, it started in Denmark. So this is a kind of a typical stereotype of a librarian, right? A shush librarian. So we have other people might have prejudice to us among librarians as well. And this one was taken like 2 years ago in IFLA in Malaysia. They are both Indonesians. They are just wanting to share that every librarian can be has his or her own fashion sense, and it can be outside of the box, right? Because not only librarians can be working in a library, on all those kinds of corners of the library where you only have to borrow and loan books. So in our library at Nazarbayev University, we we gave a presentation this year during the American Library Association virtual conference, and the title of our presentation is about social inclusivity and gender equality, focusing on sustainable development goal number 5. So let me just share a very quick one, a brief one. So we shared about our programs in the library. We have Week of Women. We support Week of Women. It's one of our advocacies, as well as the Human Library, which aims to make sure that we touch on somehow religious, social, and ethnic differences, that we understand each other. So we want to end all forms of discrimination, regardless of gender, actually. So if you want to know more, you can actually go to the YouTube account of NU Library as well. So this is the Human Library. We focus on some topics, sensitive topics as well. As you know, in Kazakhstan, it's not that very open on some topics or issues. So we discuss about people with disabilities and other groups of people. So the Human Library is a venue for dialogue among those stereotyped, judged, oppressed, and discriminated. You may have experienced it on your own, or you may be the bully. So who are you on this side of the spectrum? Are you the bully? Are you the one discriminating others, or are you the one being oppressed? So this is just an example of how human library programs look like. So this is an example from DLSU Taft, Manila. So as you can see, there's a directory of human books, right? So the program is like, when you enter, you join the program, you select a book, a human book, a real person. It's just like a list of real titles of a book, then you select the person, check it out. Checking out means reading the human book, meaning interacting with the real person. So this is just an example of it. So once you check out, you become the reader. Then the human book gives an introduction about a certain stereotype, and then the reader asks questions to better understand what's happening. In Indonesia, there is also human library programs. So I've checked the Human Library Organization, and there are 2 programs there, one in Jakarta and one in Bandung. Not really pretty sure where is it, but the contact person is there, if you can see on the left side of the screen. This is the Instagram account of the Human Library Indonesia. You can check it out later. Their books are disabled people, bipolar, some feminist, and other groups of people. So these are the organizers of the Human Library Indonesia program. So my presentation would actually deal, because it's a study, what we do is that when we are doing human library programs, we document our events, any kind of events we document. We have photographers, we have videographers around, like this event. I'm sure that we are recording it so that in the future, we can use it for research, for analysis, for documentation, for whatever purpose, essentially for archive, right? And we don't know what will be its use in the future. So it's very important that we do something to document like this one. So those recorded materials or video materials, just like any other libraries, once they have the video recording, ask the permission of the people involved, let's say the human books or the readers, they ask a consent form, they agreed that eventually the program will be recorded, it's recorded and it's uploaded, right? So for example, in this kind of study, all those human library recorded videos were uploaded in YouTube. Okay, so just a quick fact, there are more than already almost 2 billion YouTube viewers online. So what are the objectives of my study? So I'm looking on the common stereotypes or prejudice featured in each published YouTube playlist. So I look into the YouTube playlist, and I'll be discussing it into the methodology. So what is the average length of each human library video? Does it encompass the length Is it short or long enough to show the program or what it is all about? And what is the most watched content? What is the most interesting stereotype being watched by the viewers? So YouTube as a video sharing site, anybody can upload videos now. And what is the purpose of sharing? Everybody can create his or her own content, right? So video sharing online. YouTube is a platform that manages to satisfy a wide range of visual needs. We are consumers of video information. We watch YouTube because for information seeking, for entertainment, for social interaction. So it is impartial intention is to influence, educate, or entertain. So because sometimes there are different views there. My view now is different from your view depending on how you analyze the video. And also one form of doing that also, some other creators, content creators now do vlogging, which is so popular right now. So YouTube actually changed that kind of landscape because viewers can comment, viewers can subscribe, can like, can share the content. Now, viewers are empowered to share their voices in the comment section. So just like this, if it's recorded on a video and uploaded later, if it's we are live stream, then people can comment and say something about it, right? So content providers open this feature to get feedback as well. Okay. Now, I'm using video analysis. So online video like YouTube allows the public and the researchers to understand the recorded data in multiple viewpoints. So existing YouTube videos now consist of visual data that can be used for research. The viewers who interact online allow the researchers to observe how they criticize, behave, or converse virtually. So let's say I've chosen or pre-selected 3 university libraries with YouTube accounts, and they have human library playlists. So this study employs video analysis using openly accessible video data from select playlist videos uploaded in YouTube. So social interactions captured in the video will be the basis for analysis. So this is kind of a methodological approach introduced by Novak and Schnettler. Finding meaning to the actions and interactions in each video is vital for the study as observation process remains to be interpreted. Okay, so it needs a researcher to do that. So I'll be focusing on 3 libraries, the Griffith University. I'll try to be as diverse as possible. So it's from Charleston County Public Library in USA and De La Salle University Libraries in Philippines. Anybody who wants to speak? So yeah, let's just mute our microphones. So this is the human library. So I used human library as my keyword in searching. So I use it. So results are filtered by selecting the playlists as a type of video. You can actually select it. There's a filter button there on the left side. You can use it. And 3 YouTube library accounts were considered for the research. So YouTube channels selected should be owned and maintained by the libraries and not uploaded by any third party. So there are also, because there are playlists that are curated containing human library videos, and it's a mix of other kinds. So the album has different kinds of content. So I did not include them in the study. Okay, sorry. So let's discuss. So for the purpose of analyzing metrics as data may change daily, so I watch them per day. So I watched Griffith University Library's Human Library playlist on August 21st, then followed by Charleston August 24th, and the LSU on August 26th. So the results of the study. Now, let me just pull this up. Now the library. So as you can see in the table, there's a YouTube channel link, the date it was created, the number of current subscribers as of August 2020, and the number of human library videos in the playlist. So let's say the Griffith University Libraries, they have actually 2 playlists, but I selected the one with more, which has 25 videos. Charleston County Public Library with 19 videos. LSU with 29 videos. As you can see, that number of subscribers is also little, right? But in the establishment of the YouTube account is a bit old. because for Charleston, it's 2007, so it's more than 10 years already. So next. So what are the common prejudices? Just to answer now the objectives of the study. So I found 46 kinds of prejudice in those 3 YouTube playlist videos. What are the common? So transgender is one common among 3 human library YouTube playlists, transgender. For Griffith and DLSU, it's person with disabilities, people with depression, and LGBT. And then for GUL and CCPL, it's chronic conditions, those with diseases and refugees. And then for CCPL and DLSU, it's people living with HIV. So what are the other prejudices involved? Now for Griffith University libraries, they have those people who are alcoholic, those are bullied, people of religion, like for Jews or Muslims. For Charleston, people who are addicted, people who were formerly in prison, incarcerated, some professions like journalists, law enforcers. For DLSU, those who are atheists. Take note that DLSU is a Catholic university as well. Athletes, obese people, and those who have tattoos. Let's go on one by one. Griffith University Libraries Human Library Playlist. In total, they only have 5 comments in total number of videos. Number of views, 675, 17 likes, and 1 dislike. So given that the average video shared in Human Library Playlist runs for only 1 minute, it gives a preview of what the event is all about. So the Human Books interviewed
Iya nama aku. Satu kubik papan itu. Berarti ada apa nih? Aku bayar kalau kau telak sendiri, tanya uang. Aku pagong. Tebalnya macam ini. Seperti aku apa nih? Aku masa pada kongsi pun di para anak pada pun tak mau. Oh iya. Kalau aku nggak paham.
Please mute yourself, audience. Hello.
Pecal. Pecala.
Okay, so I'll continue. So there are a total of 109 actually. The video
Mungkin aku naik, boy.
I can mute them.
Hi, host. Could you mute them?
Okay. Now,
Okay.
all right.
Sorry.
So I'll continue. The most number of views is about a video about cancer survivor, because probably people can relate to that person about the disease. Probably they have relatives or family members, so people are watching that kind of video. So it received actually 4 likes and 1 comment. So based on the interviews, the Human Books enjoyed their participation. They love sharing their stories. So one of the Human Books even mentioned he is actually a Muslim, saying that there was a sense of fulfillment after articulating and expressing oneself as a person who believes in Islam. So the most watched are cancer survivors. And then this is just an example of the screenshot of the Human Library playlist from Griffith University Library. So it says that participation is really fun. It was mentioned by this certain John, who's an indigenous person. So Human Library experience was really good. Next is Charleston County Public Library. In total, they only gained 9 comments with more than 2,000 views, 28 likes, and 10 dislikes. So Human Books now who participated in these videos felt a sense of community and acceptance. They found support. There was a support system through the Human Library program. It's one of the best outcomes of taking part in library event. So actually also mentioned by one person who has a chronic condition. So the most watched video here is transgender. So it has more than 800 views and actually lots of dislikes as well. Now, next, this is an example of a topic in Charleston on law enforcers. So in some situations like this, when I was watching this, there are readers who are really emotional. So to prevent that kind of harsh exchange of conversation, because Human Library is a dialogue, the Human Book must remain to be calm, So after all, the human library is a place for dialogue, right? So the lack of trust, the reason why they invited law enforcers is because people has this lack of trust among them. I'm not sure in your area. So it could be a good topic of interest. So in this session, the human books, the law enforcers themselves, enjoin the readers, the audience, to restore faith among people who manage peace and order since they represent the communities they serve. Next, or finally, the LSU Human Library playlist with 60 comments and 31,000, more than 31,000 views, 460 likes and 14 dislikes, with over 22,000 views. Actually, the most watched item here or video here is a person or a female bisexual. So it received almost 50 comments and 355 likes. Now, one thing to mention here is this human book, the session. This is a session on political personality. Now, this is a popular person now. He is currently one of the city mayors in Metro Manila. He received more than 5,000 views with 11 comments, 61 likes, and one dislike. So this session would like to break the stereotype on a traditional politician. So we elect politicians, but they don't serve. So this one would like to tell people that we serve the community. So serve with integrity and sincerity. So this is all about that kind of human book. And the other one, this one, watching human books online would also make you feel that the readers can connect, you know, even if I'm just watching it online. I myself was an organizer before, and I didn't have the chance to really talk to each of them during those sessions. So watching them gives me a throwback. Like now I can watch them because I have the time and because it was uploaded. If these videos were not uploaded, I didn't have the chance to watch it, right? So this one is Brother Mark Salvan, FSC. He represents those people who are judged for their pure vocation. He engages his readers and transcends that inviting atmosphere even to those who watch him. So his way of telling stories is so appealing. So it's like I was really with him during this time, even if I'm just watching him online. What are the average length of videos? So average time, GUL is just 1 minute because they just want to promote their program. It doesn't have full videos, interviews only per session. So promotion of the event. CCPL on average 49 minutes and DLSU on average 33 minutes. So regardless how long the videos are, I think they are enough to send the message across the global community to ensure that all of us challenge our own stereotypes. And we hope that we also replicate the same program in different libraries or communities. Now, conclusions part, this will be short now. So information sharing is becoming accessible for those who have stable internet connection. That's one for sure, because right now, because of pandemic, it's the new normal. We communicate now via Zoom, and it's advantageous for both of us as well. The information sharing is there. Libraries maximize the use of social media platforms and video sharing sites in order to expand the availability of our programs. In order for us to market fully our programs, then we have to make use of these kinds of social media tools to get more engagement as well. So the use of video sharing site like YouTube to promote products of a library is an additional online space for 24/7 interaction, and that YouTube can realize the ultimate goal of human library to address prejudice, stereotypes, discrimination. Also, the amount of users, informs us that there needs to be more effective ways to get people's attention. Okay, so more engagement. Those videos with more comments found their niche and created a venue for deeper connection among users. So remember, if the video gets a lot of comments, it may spark controversy, or it may spark hate, or otherwise. No, it could be about love or whatever. So it is hoped that these videos will generate more viewers and that the objectives of the human library is attained in an online environment, online platform. So in Indonesia, it's like the tagline is unity in diversity, right? It's your motto. So multiculturalism should not be the reason for misunderstanding. Human library promotes respect and rights of people. It has characteristics to become also media and information literacy. So this is just for further reading if you want to read more about human libraries. This is open access article. So here are my references, and thank you for listening, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yap. Okay, the speech is very inspiring. I think it's very clear. So I ask for the audience to prepare their questions, because we are going to have one question and answer in the last, after the last speaker. But I think I don't need to be concluding, yeah, because the time is very limited, and I and now I think what is I think it's better to move to the second speaker, Dr. Putu Laksman Pendit. Are you there?
Yes,
Pak
yes.
Putu? Yeah,
yes, I'm
that is
just
your
preparing
time
my.
for 20 minutes also. We start from 9:48 Indonesian time. I don't know
Okay.
there. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Please.
All right. Can you see my presentation now?
Yeah. So yeah, it's
Okay.
clear. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. My name is Putu Laksman Pendit. Thanks to the host for this great event, and also thank you for your continuing interest in my topics. So, like shown on your screen, my presentation will be titled Pustaka, Tradition and Transformation. And this is actually most of the content of this presentation were taken from my two recent books. Maybe most of you have already known that I published recently two books in 2019 and 2020. And those two books is basically my continuing attention that departs from our usual topics of the functionality or the technicality of running a library. So, like all of my presentation before, I will concentrate on not the aspect or the technical nitty-gritty of running a library, but instead I'm going to place the library or this institution that we know in its context, so in a cultural and social context. And that's why I would like to speak about tradition and transformation. Now, the main issue here that I would like to discuss with you, and probably also entice you to study it, is the word itself. You know, we've been using this word all the time, pustaka, and we've used it as the name or as a formal icon of our institution. We call it perpustakaan. So those who are not Indonesian might want to know that the root word of library in Indonesia is pustaka. But we often disregard it. I mean, like, we often think that this word has been used and that therefore there is no issue in it. Although in fact we have to start asking questions. For example, for those who are involved in library or librarianships, maybe we should start ask ourselves, for example, about the meaning or the real meaning of this word, yeah, that we use as our name or our title. So, for example, we should actually start trying to comprehend that the years that we have been using this word for is quite long. See, on the screen you can see that this word started to be used long time ago, and it was not originated in India, although the one that we use came from Sanskrit language from India, but the beginning or the root, the very beginning of this word came from Iran, from Persia. Of course, there was no Iran at the time, so it came from Persia, and the word referred to the skin of animal. And why was it the skin of animal? Is because that particular skin of animal that they call pos or posta was used to as a medium for their particular religious belief, what they call Avesta or Zoroaster. So long time ago, in 500 years before Christ, before all the Arabic religion, the Persian region has already invented their own religion, and they call it Zoroaster, and they already had a Bible or a kitab for their belief, and they wrote down all the sayings, all the teachings of their religion on a piece of skin, animal skin, which they call posta. This word then was borrowed by the Indian, the Sanskrit, when they actually started to write their religion as well. You know, the first religion that came into being in India was Hindu. So Hindu used the technique or the medium that was used before in Persia. So they called this medium also pusta, but they put another word on it, ka. So it became pustaka. And this word, the word pustaka, that was borrowed by India 500 years before Christ, and so this is probably 2,000 years old now, has been used now by Indonesian. So you can imagine that this is one of the very little number of words that has been used for a long time. Can you imagine it is like a word that has been 2,000 years in existence? This simply means that this word is very important. Or as I said in many occasions, this word is very powerful, very sakti. Yeah, to stand the test of time for so long means that this word is very meaningful and very important to the society that is using it. Now, in my short study of the development of the use of this word in our country, in Indonesia, we can see that, as you can also see on the screen, that this word pustaka is basically used as both as an icon and also as means of communication, and even as a preservation of knowledge, and also as part of the administration of a kingdom. So pustaka in our previous time, this is all before the Dutch came, pustaka has been used to refer to many things, but especially it is sacralized. Sacralized means it is worshipped. So we put a lot of value, a very high value on pustaka. We always thought that everything that has pustaka on its name is something sacred. It's something that is to be passed on to other generation, to the next generation. It's something that has sovereignty in it. So So pustaka in this sense does not refer to a medium as it was originally intended to, but it refers to an institution, to a value, to a perception, to culture in general. It's not a simple thing as then we know book, for example. Book is, we refer to a book and we can just point to a thing that we call book. But when we talk about pustaka, we cannot refer it to something, like to a thing. We should refer it to a whole set of practices, a whole set of values, or even a whole set of beliefs. Then we can say that is pustaka. Now, this means that the word pustaka has gone beyond its original meaning. And this is only a proof that pustaka has been used, the word pustaka has been used by a society or a community to uphold and to preserve some values. This is the stuff of culture, and that's why later on I will talk about tradition. Now, so when the Dutch came in the 1916 or in the 16th century, we already had a tradition which we call pustaka, right? So this is a tradition and a culture that is so multiple, because we know the archipelago, our Nusantara, consists of many kingdoms, many communities, small and large, and each of those communities had their own tradition of pustaka. So it was proven by a study in literature and past literature and historical study, even archaeological study. We had so many traditions of pustaka in various forms. Not only on Hindus or Sanskrit script, but on various script invented by numerous smaller communities. And that's why we've had 300 more than 300 tradition, literature and written tradition. Of course, all of them was localized and not existed in one big umbrella that we call Indonesia now, right? They existed in a smaller communities all over the archipelago, the Nusantara. So this is the condition when the Dutch came and started their colonization of Indonesia. So it was interesting then that when in 1908, for example, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not very good at remembering dates and years. That is the task of historian, actually, to remember all the years and everything. But actually, in the 20th century, the beginning of the 20th century, only then the Dutch started a bureau, a kantor, that they call it in Dutch language, and then translated that institution or that kantor or that bureau into Balai Pustaka. This is a very, in a sense of librarianships now. Actually, we need to study this more of this institution. So the Dutch call this Balai Pustaka. I'm still trying to figure out why and how on earth that the Dutch colonial government decided to use the word pustaka for their own institution. But I think we can safely assume that the Dutch is trying to gain some, of course, to gain some advantage by understanding our tradition, and then by using our tradition to continue their influence in Indonesia. So they created Balai Pustaka, and the first and also their main function was to translate many indigenous written or literature into Latin. You see, this is the first or the major break of a tradition in Indonesian Pustaka, because the Dutch introduced two things. First, they introduced Latin script. Remember, before the Dutch came, we had almost more than 300 traditions, literature tradition, be it oral tradition or written tradition, and both of them. So when the Dutch came, the first thing they did, not the first thing, I mean one of the last thing they did was to introduce Latin script and to spread it all over the archipelago. What for? Well, simply to replace the 300 something other scripts. That was the intention, because this is the easiest way for them to then control the information. So we could safely assume that the Dutch intention was, this endeavor by the Dutch was intentional. It was not a natural continuation of Pustaka tradition. It was an intention to disrupt the tradition and to replace it with a thing that give them advantages. So yeah, Balai Pustaka then, this Balai Pustaka then developed a network of an impressive network of libraries in a sense that we know today. So Pustaka was a tradition that already existed in Indonesia before the Dutch came, but the library that we know it was started by the Dutch. And the library that we know it was actually based on Western idea. Western, what I mean by Western, of course, is Europe. The European idea of library, of how to continue the literature tradition, the literacy tradition and everything in Latin, and in a language that was then being formed in Indonesia, a language that was not spoken by other 300 communities, which was Bahasa Indonesia. So when Balai Pustaka was created by the Dutch, this institution helped establish our common language. That is why when we gain our independence, later on, when we gain our independence, we had a lingua franca, a common language. But at the same time, we had a huge illiteracy issues. Of course. Why? Because the other 300 speaking community were not using the same language. So when we gained our independence in 1945, we had a language, and we were so happy with that we have a common language, but at the same time we had a big problem of illiteracy. That was also the time when our librarianships appeared or came into being. Now, I'm talking about librarianship now in term or in the sense that we know today, and in a term and a sense that was imported from the Dutch, by the Dutch, from European soil to Indonesia and instilled in Indonesia by the use of this institution that we call Balai Pustaka. Interestingly, when we gained our independence, we then split this institution into two. One is Balai Pustaka, that we keep the name Balai Pustaka until now, and the name is now become a specific institution, an independent institution directly under the president, and it was then and then now also being have the task of maintaining or developing literature, sastra in Indonesia. And then the other part of Balai Pustaka was detached from literature and put in the Department of Education to become the embryo of Indonesian librarianship. Ironically, this detached institution was not given enough capacity to deal with, for example, illiteracy, which is the biggest problem of Indonesia at the time. So it was lack of human resources. It didn't have any infrastructure to support the legacy of the Dutch. So, and then it was bogged down in bureaucracy. So this Balai Pustaka that created by the Dutch split it into two, and walk their own ways separately, and without any support, any real support from the government. The perpustakaan or the librarianship of Indonesia grew very slow, and more importantly, it was detached from the real issue of multi-literacy, multiple literacies, detached from the tradition that was already there before the Dutch came. And therefore, this new librarianship of Indonesia was basically an offshot or a what do you call that? Something standing in a vacuum, you know, separated from the real issue of literacy, literature, development of reading, for example. Remember that every script or every pustaka that had been used before the Dutch came had their own reading capacities developed, but it was disrupted by the introduction of Latin script, right? So this is the basic issues that I would like to develop, and maybe to entice other students, or some of you are students here. If you are interested, you can also study this. And this is what I call a tradition. And you can, I don't have to read all the words on the screen, but pustaka has been proven, or at least we can safely assume that the tradition of literacy tradition in the form of pustaka, which resemble the library system that we know today, had already existed in Indonesia, but that was then disrupted by the Dutch. And after the Dutch left the country, we didn't have enough capacity to continue or to innovate based on our own tradition, and instead we tried to develop a very westernized form of library, but without capacities, and we were run out of human resources at the time. And when we detached perpustakaan from Balai Pustaka and put it in the Department of Education, we then concentrated mainly on the technicality of running a library, a westernized library, which was so detached from the actual condition of 300 and more communities in Indonesia. And this then continued. And also, I would like to touch briefly the other issues that will bring us to the conclusion, basically. So, Pustaka as a tradition that was developed long before the Dutch came into the country was disrupted, right? But as a tradition, it left some sort of residue in the country in a form of different ways of looking at reading, different ways or different perception of what reading is and what is the importance of reading. So this is the crux or the main issue that was also faced by librarianship in Indonesia. So and this is why in my conclusion I tried to highlight the point that Pustaka as tradition experienced breaks, internal crisis, and that created a failure in responding to real issues of Indonesia when it comes to literacy, for example. And also, after the independence, the Dutch legacy in librarianship failed to provide an impetus, to provide a force to revive librarianships that both acknowledge local variation and able to adapt to newer development. So that is why I can conclude that librarianships are in general, and Indonesian libraries in particular, were not involved in the social transformation of the society of Indonesia in general from the point of literacy and literature. So I hope that is still within my time, and that's the conclusion of my presentation. I'd like to welcome all questions later on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Putu. I think it's your speech, your presentation is very clear, and I think if there is, I hope there are many questions will rise to you after the last speaker. Thank you. Then now we are going to move to the third speaker, Ms. Labiba. Hello. Ms. Labiba, are you there? Are you ready? Hello? 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 Are you there? Bu Labiba? I couldn't hear you.
Sorry,
okay.
I forgot to mute.
Okay. Okay, please, this your time. Don't forget, your time is only 20 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Nurdin Laugu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm Labibah Zain. I'm the head of UIN Sunan Kalijaga Library and also lecturer of LIS Department at Faculty of Adab and Cultural Science, UIN Sunan Kalijaga, Yogyakarta, meaning that the moderator is my boss. Yeah, because Dr. Nurdin Laugu is the head of LIS program at UIN Sunan Kalijaga, Yogyakarta. So it's mean that the moderator is my boss. I should be very careful here.
It's college.
Okay. Thank you, ICONIC committee, for having me as one of the invited speakers here. And I'm glad to meet Mr. Joseph Marmolia, Pak Putu, Ibu Marwia on this wonderful conference. In this opportunity, I would like to share my ongoing progress paper entitled Preserving Indonesian Cultural Heritage through LIS Teaching Learning Activities at UIN Sunan Kalijaga, Yogyakarta, Indonesia. Okay, first of all, I will show you the Archipelago of Indonesia. Yeah, Indonesia is a multicultural country with about 13,000 islands divided into 34 provinces, about more than 1,000 tribes, and 600 local language, meaning that Indonesia is a multicultural country. Each area has their own culture. Most of them are intangible in the form of a ceremony, oral culture that were inherited to young generation by oral transmission. As time goes by, if the culture are not properly preserved using professional documentation, it will be faded away. Okay, this is, you see, a lot of culture in Indonesia, from Aceh till Papua. It is beautiful country with the beautiful culture. As we know that one of the library roles that we here in Indonesia do not pay attention is library is placed to preserve the culture. In fact, IFLA, through Preservation and Conservation Division, or PAC, explicitly stated that to ensure that all library material, published or unpublished in all format, will be preserved in accessible form for as long as possible. The centers host event, training, workshop, and support librarians and others on preservation of documentary cultural heritage. Cultural heritage, both tangible and intangible, natural and cultural, consisting both movable and immovable assets inherited from the past of extremely high value for the present of future community. Access, preservation, and education around cultural heritage are essential for the evolution of the people and their culture. The preservation and restoration of cultural heritage has always been a priority for IFLA of contribution of libraries to humanity. IFLA stands for International Federation Library Association. I put the bold format to show you that intangible cultural heritage also become focused on IFLA program. So library and librarianship here is not only focusing on preserving the material, which is so technical, but also preserving intangible forms of culture. So it is so related with the mission of Faculty of Adab and Cultural Science, and then become the characteristic of LIS UIN Sunan Kalijaga, Yogyakarta, which focuses on having LIS graduates who have competencies on librarianship, Islamic studies, and Javanese culture. This is the distinction of LIS alumni of UIN Sunan Kalijaga. As we know that LIS of UIN Sunan Kalijaga has a three program: bachelor degree, master degree, and doctoral degree. In this presentation, I will focus on the bachelor degree program. As I said earlier, LIS of Win Sunan Kalijaga has characteristic on Islamic studies and Javanese culture. We offer courses such as management, information technology, librarianship, information behavior and service, languages, which is Indonesian, English, Arabic, and Javanese language, research, information in the social context, documentation for local culture, etc. Again, I will focus on the course that I put into bold form here, that is information in the social context and documentation for local culture, and show you how the teaching, learning activities were conducted. Okay, when I teach information in the social context, I provide topics such as contemporary issues in information in the library and information fields, knowledge management, information literacy, copyright, open access, information for all versus censorship, and the role of libraries in the society to give a solution through libraries and documenting oral tradition. Basically, this course provides any contemporary issues that are not available yet on the curriculum, and providing student tools to advocate themselves, especially relating to their professions. One of the topics on the class is preserving cultural heritage available on the student area by making them doing some research and presenting what they got into cultural exhibition. Yeah, here, the step we took in the teaching learning processes, we do brainstorming. I ask the student to think about the local culture around them. Anything come into their minds, they have to discuss it. Then I ask them to learn Kluckhohn and Brown theory about element of culture, covering stories, histories, myth, legend, ritual, ceremony, heroes, belief, symbol, attitude, and norm. And we determine the theme based on what they want to document, like traditional food, traditional stories, traditional games, traditional clothes, healing, and etc. After they found the themes, the student did research. They do observation, searching references, interviewing the authoritative persons, analyzing, reporting, and presenting into exhibition platform. And then they have to plan for exhibition. In this exhibition, the student must be available on the booth and able to explain clearly the exhibition material to any visitors. They have to be able to promote their booth so they can attract the visitor to come to the exhibition. During the exhibition, I will conduct competition. We will choose some winners based on the criteria, how was the content, how they present the content, how they explain the content to audience, and how many visitors come to their booth, and how satisfy the user to their booth. So they have to prepare evaluation method that make the visitor able to express their opinion about the booth. So here are some themes that we have done. In 2013, the first time we organized cultural exhibition, the theme was all about libraries. And then 2014, we choose the theme traditional stories. 2015, we choose traditional game. 2016 about traditional food. 2017 about traditional game. 2018 traditional healing. 2019 we didn't have any cultural exhibition because at the time was Ramadan and long holiday. we change it into another project. They have to make a library profile project at the time. And in 2020, it is a pandemic time. So we still organize cultural exhibition through virtual exhibition using Instagram platform Pameran Budaya IDKS. It was wonderful and turn on that we have got a lot of support from various library organizations such as IFLA, Special Library Association, National Library, National Library Association, and librarians from all over the world. We also had interactive discussion between visitors and the students who did exhibitions through commenting system like an Instagram Live. It was fun though. So here is some picture of cultural event that we conducted by LIS Win Sunan Kalijaga Yogyakarta. So this is traditional game. At the time in 2017, we organized International Conference of Asian Special Library. As you see in the picture, some visitors, some participants of ICOSL conference have had opportunity to do some interaction with the student at the time they present traditional games. And then we have traditional food in 2010. And then this is still traditional games. And this is traditional story. And this is in 2020, we put everything on Instagram. Yeah. So here is the platform you can see from the slides. And also, we have media coverage. Yeah, some national TV broadcast our program because they think that it was so unique, and people might be interested to see the exhibition through TV. Okay, so this is the benefits. Some benefit we got from these teaching learning activities are building awareness of the importance of preserving traditional culture, and then documenting the local culture that can be accessed by visitor of the exhibition, and then building LIS student competencies in preserving local culture through the libraries and become the foundation when the student take course called documentation for local culture in the following semester. And this can build LIS student competencies in preparing exhibition, and also building basic research skill concerning local culture. And the most important thing is building interpersonal skill. When the student organizing the exhibition, they have to have communication skill, both written and spoken language. They need to have speaking skill to be able to explain what is the content of exhibition to serve visitors. And also they have to have written skill to write the local culture in the nice form. And last, I would like to make some recommendation, especially for the public library. I believe that each public library, even village library, has their own culture. It is recommended to public library to have program on cultural programs such as documenting oral tradition, writing histories of a city or villages, artists, poet, literary directory. They have to build directory of artists, poet, literary work, and also documentation for cultural event. And for LIS department around the world, please consider to put cultural preservation on your course or curriculum. As IFLA stated through PAC, culture is not only about us, but also it is about civilization that we should keep to the young generation, since in the local culture we find a lot of knowledge and wisdom to make us survive. Thank you for listening. If you have any question, you can ask in the question and answer time, or maybe you can write on the chat box. You can ask directly. Once again, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Bu Labiba. The presentation is very clear, and I'm sure that it is very inspiring because it is very what is interesting topic. Yeah, talking about the multicultural society, how to preserving our cultural heritage in Indonesia. And now we thank you, Bu Labiba. And now we come to the last speaker, last but not least, Ibu Maria. Are you already there? Are you still there, Bu
Yes,
Maria?
I'm here.
Okay, okay. This is the last presentation, and after this, we are going to the last what it says about discussion, question and answer, and I give you also the same times, 20 minutes to come, yeah, and what is please take your time.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Dr. Ludin, and it's an honor for me to be here to speak in this conference. My name is Maria. I'm a lecturer, LIS study program, Faculty of FATIP, UIN Sunan Kalijaga. Today, I'll talk about global knowledge and the problem of information retrieval. Okay, because I only have 20 minutes, so I will make it less than 20 minutes. Okay, this presentation will divide into 3 parts: background, key concept, and then the last is discussion and conclusion. Okay, we start with the background. I will start with this statement. Knowledge discovery, knowledge acquisition, and creation of knowledge and its communication is essentially human characteristic. I think we'll agree about that because in everyday life, we always try to find new knowledge, information from many sources. And then, from childhood to adult years, humans engage with information behavior and activity related to information seeking, such as finding, gathering, organizing, and using information. For example, when we're working on paper, so first we will gather information about a certain subject, as many as possible, and then we will save it in our computer. We'll organize it on maybe a folder. We name the folder with a certain subject, and then we will save the file in that folder with the title. So we'll do information retrieval actually. So information seeking is an important activity in humans' daily life. What I mentioned before is about academic life, but in everyday life, we do the same. Like when we cook something, so we gather information about the recipe, and then we'll save it in our cell phone or computer, and then when we need the recipe, so we open our file. So we have to make sure that we save it in the systematic way. Before invention of printing press, information was transferred orally or through manuscript. So at that time when people try to find information, so we can ask people who have knowledge on that, or we can see from the manuscript. But then when the Gutenberg's invention on printing machine, information and knowledge could be created and produced massively, so we don't have to ask to the person or people because we have another media like books or other printed material. And then the next era is the era of the emergence of internet. This is the era that view as a major and paradigmatic medium of information is. Also, in this era, there are rapid dissemination of information, like Joseph mentioned before, that with the YouTube, we can share information, we can share videos, we can share anything there. So internet is really helpful and makes dissemination of information become easy. And then for user, they have more access on more various information on any disciplines from diverse sources, maybe from YouTube, maybe from a news site, and etc. Immediacy and global dissemination of online information makes internet a very useful medium potential for storing information. And I think everyone do that every day, like in the Instagram, you put image, and then we do storing information. So once again, internet is important and has important role in the emergence of globalization era. So we'll talk about globalization. This term refers to a phenomenon defined as or measured by flows of trade and investment between countries. It is more about economic things. Other definition, globalization is position where there is a strong connectivity among nations. Means that we have connection with our colleagues from other countries, from other nations. So in the internet, in the information context, globalization usually used as a reference of the growing ease of information flow across borders. So with the internet, we can see that every information are everywhere. And also, globalization is viewed as a media to strengthen economy in the national and international scope. And so there is a high consumption and dependency on online information to support economy-related activities, as can be seen in the information society, information age. Fritz must have used more information for economic reason in economic sphere. And then with the development of ICT, this contributes to accelerate the creation and acquisition of global knowledge. So this is one of important aspect to the emergence of global knowledge. And the emergence of the World Wide Open and web, open up new interactive channels between creators and producers, and this is caused by huge volumes of information on the web. But on the other hand, there is information overload that this occurs, and that leads to stress and anxiety of users, because they need to know how to find information easily, how to find information properly, and how to find the right information. Therefore, with the growth of information stored on the web, it makes the process of identifying, indexing, and retrieving information become more complex. What I said before, when we work on paper, it's simply my personal file, but you can imagine in the Google, for example, it become more complex. Identifying, indexing, and retrieval process will be more complex. So systematic knowledge organization is needed. And how to organize? This is what I will talk in this paper. To identify how information retrieval tools in public domain provides easy access to global knowledge and information stored on the web. Okay. you see a little bit about knowledge and global knowledge. Global knowledge it refers to knowledge that is beyond local and indigenous context. Global knowledge is cross-culture and has high generalizability and comes to be characterized by diversity in source. And this is related to globalization. And then we'll come to the types of knowledge. According to Mansour and Johnson, there are 4 types of knowledge. First is know what knowledge is related to kind of fact, and the second is know how knowledge is related to scientific knowledge, and the fourth is know how knowledge refers to skill, how to do something, and then 4 is know who knowledge. It refers to special social relation. It's about maybe maybe about a leader or others. And then there are 2 groups of knowledge. From 4 types of knowledge, there are 2 groups. The first is know-how and who. Know who is basic knowledge. This is the minds people, knowledge on the mind people. And then the second is explicit knowledge. This is about know-how and know what and know why knowledge. Explicit knowledge. Explicit knowledge is easily coded for information and easily transferred in our life environment. And this is what we always find on the web. And then the need for knowledge organization, because there are many information on the web. So we need to organize the knowledge. And then in the organization of knowledge, there are needs for search facilities. So this will enable user to access acquisition knowledge easily. And then various type of knowledge that will lead the various types of search. We'll look at the types of searching according to labs. In the labs, there are 3 kinds of type of searching. First, non-item searching means that we know part of the information, and then we do searching for the complete information. And the second is factual search. We just need very short information, like who is the president of Indonesia, and something like that. And then the third is subject search. For the first and 2 types of search, we don't have to use a specific strategy, but for subject search, it's more complicated. And then for knowledge organization, at the beginning of 18th century, the crowd of natural science and other scientific disciplines, and this is the first. I think the first, but it is the important thing to talk about organization. And then in the beginning of 21st century, the amount of interdisciplinary knowledge increased more significantly. So we need to provide subject access to it. Give information in information store. Just imagine when we put our work on the web, and then we have to identify, we have to give a name for our work. So when we try to find those information, so we can access it. And this is what we call subject access. So we need to have subject indexing. In the library, I think activity, we create surrogate of the representation of document through subject. And also for ours, for librarian, knowledge classification like thesauri and other classification system, be familiar with that. It's like subject heading, and then GDC, and this is the tools to identify and mark subject area of search, primarily for subject access. And know a little bit about information retrieval. This is concerns with representing, searching, and manipulating a large collection of electronic text and human language data. And this is important things about information retrieval that for us, we focus on this. information retrieval. It is activities related to information identification and retrieval from a storage system by only retrieving information required by user to satisfy user information needs and not retrieving unwanted information. I think for like very personal like us, this is very important because we only will give user a relevant document, and we try to avoid unwanted or irrelevant information for user satisfaction. So we need a tool. We need to organize information. And then information retrieval system facilitate searching for different purposes. For example, entertainment like YouTube, then a business, and also education. So when we talk about information retrieval, it's not only about academic things, but also about entertainment and business. So what we have to stress is on information retrieval design. Usually, information in retrieval system will provide facilities like a Boolean operator. I don't want to explain what it is. We'll see later on the Google and also other database. Boolean operator is operator that usually has for combining words or search terms or a keyword to make retrieval process more specific. And then proximity search, and then field search, and then phrase search, and then limiting search. Yes, ideally, information in retrieval system will provide these facilities. And now we look at the Google. I think because everyone is a user of the Google, I think we can live without Google. So I've been here to see whether Google have information retrieval system that appropriate for us. So we'll see. We'll see that the mission of Google is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. I will underline this word information and organize. This means that Google have a global knowledge, and Google also organize the global knowledge that is stored in the database. And Google will provide access for users. So this is the important case. And then scope, I think everyone knows about Google. We can do searching on academic information, books, image, music information, even from business. Even we can access information from public sources like World Bank and other associations. Google has search index that contains hundreds of millions of web pages. And so we can see the size is so big. And then Google has some facilities like Boolean operator, like or not, but not and operator. And then it also have phrase search, so we can search using phrase by give quotation mark on the keyword. And then field search and limits. So we'll see. Okay, I think everyone know this, but my experience teaching information retrieval in my class, and I always ask my students about this menu, and only few students know about this, and almost I think nobody use these facilities. This is advanced, but usually people search Google in a simple search. It's very simple because user can type anything there without thinking about what result will they get. But they show that Google will give anything. But when we are looking for a specific subject, so we need to look at this menu. This is for Boolean M, and then this is for phrases. We can put a quotation mark like this, and then this is for Boolean OR, and this is for Boolean NOT, means that we want to exclude some word from our search. And then this is limit search. We want to limit the number of results by putting, for example, like years. We want to find information from 2000 to 2020. So we don't want to get information before 2000. And then this is field limit, field search. We can limit the search by choose one of the language we want, and then the area, maybe like only in Indonesia, for example, and then the last updated. And maybe we're looking for information in the specific site, or maybe domain like .edu, .ac, etc. And then this is field search that we type a word and we can choose when in which field the word will appear. And in Google, what we type will appear on the title of the page, kemudian and then web page, and also the link. So we can do search on a subject because Google doesn't provide specific subject search. And then we also can choose types of format of the document. So when we search in Google, we search for global knowledge. We can apply such strategy for more specific search. Search of knowledge, we can do know-how search, know-how search, and know what and why. And then we can do also non-item and factual search. But for subject search, as I said before, that Google doesn't provide this facility, specifically this facility. So actually we can do a specific search on Google, but how many people that know these facilities? I mean, in Indonesian setting, like I said before, when I ask my students, they almost never use this facility. And then we look at Tyler and Francis Online. This is a paid journal database. This is for academic communities. It has around 30 subjects and consisting of this 1 million articles. It has two types of search, like this is a basic or simple search. We can type here, and we also have advanced search. As what different with Google is in this database, we can search subject search by click this keyword. This is a field search facility. We can choose when we search, when we type word here, so it will be appear as a title or author and or keywords. And this is also equipped with the limit search by publication here, like in the Google. And then also we can do filters when we finish with our search, and then we found that ours the result is too much like this, so we can do a filter. So we can compare between academic and general practical tool, and we can see that they are different, and this is not easy for people who doesn't have knowledge about searching. So at the conclusion, use volume of knowledge on the web need good knowledge organization, easy accessibility. And then retrieval tools are provided for access to global knowledge and information stored on the web for various types of user and types of search. And information retrieval systems should be designed based on the types of user, like Google for any types of user and database for academic society. And to do so, for user perspective, users should have competency on information searching. So we have to have competency like information and digital literacy. So what Google and database have built, we can use that properly. Okay, that's it for my presentation. Thank you. Thank you, Pak Nukin.
Okay, thank you very much for your speech, Bu Maria. It is very, I think it is very inspiring to audiences. Then now we come to the end of the speaker presentation. So I think the time to move to session question and answer. So I'm going to divide it into two questions. The first is we invite first the audience to ask question directly to the four speakers, and after that we are going to answer the question from the chat. Yeah. So we please first to the audiences to raise hand or to unmute your mic to to ask your question, and also you can address a certain speaker what question you are going to ask, maybe to certain person or to all speakers. Okay, please. Hello. Any question from the audience?
Yes, sir. I would like to ask a
Okay.
question.
Mention your name. Please, it's already slideshow. Okay, please.
Yes. Yes, my name is Vita. Mr. Nurdin, hope you still remember me. I was one of your students 8 years ago.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, of course,
Okay.
I remember. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I would like to ask to Bu Labibah.
Yeah.
So when you have kind of a cultural event in library, is it can we make a kind of cultural event in library as a therapeutic library or kind of inclusive library?
Okay. I think the
is it clear, sir?
Yeah, I think it is clear.
Okay.
But I don't know, Bu Labiba, is it clear, Bu Labiba?
Yeah. You're asking about if we organize the cultural event, can we do it in the inclusive library or it's regular library? My answer is right.
Wait. Yeah. Can it kind of a part of inclusive library, or can we make it as a part of a therapeutic program in library? Because some of the artists or some of the visitor need performance in library to make they feel something different in when they join when they come to library.
Yeah, you can do it both.
Okay.
Both of them. That's very benefit to have a cultural event, because the function of the cultural event in the library is for the recreation, for to refresh your minds.
Mm-hmm.
It is a kind of therapeutical things in the library, and also the other function is also to show the people about how to preserve cultures, and also giving the awareness for the people the importance of preserving culture, and giving in the same time giving the competencies for the student to organize cultural exhibitions?
Okay, because I just not a lot of the students, sorry, not a lot of the library can join kind of culture event and library in one event, because I just saw your I follow all your activities through the SK Theater, so you always what we call it, you always menggabungkan integrated that SK activities come theater to the library. So I think not a lot of the library do these activities.
Yeah, exactly. It's depend on it's depend how you can give the opinion to the head of the library. You can give the strong opinion to head the library that organizing cultural event in the library is part of library rule. You have to say it clearly to the head of the library.
Yeah, because it is maybe it is not new in Java, but maybe it's kind of a new activities in outside Java library, doing cultural events in a library.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Vita.
Yeah.
Okay, Pak Nurdin, please unmute yourself, Pak Nurdin.
Sorry. Okay, I think I am going to repeat it because the audience are not listening to what I just said. That I think the question is already clear, and also the answer is clear, I think. Yeah. So now we invite other questions. So if anybody want to address question, please raise your hand and please unmute your mic. Okay, please. Hello. Any?
Yeah, yes, me, sir.
Okay. Mention your name. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Yoga. I would like to ask Mr. Joseph some question. Mr. Joseph, you mentioned that the Human Library in your YouTube channel that invite some viewer to see your videos. Now, I want to ask you, who is the speaker in the video? Is that a librarian or is that a psychiatrist? Is that clear, sir?
Okay, thank you, Yoga.
Yeah.
Okay, please.
So my study is based on 3 YouTube playlist videos, right? 3 university libraries with human library YouTube videos. So those are not from our library. Those human books are invited people based on referrals or invitations. So before we start the human library program, you have to find them first. What we did before, based on our experience, is that there is a meeting of people in the committee. Who should we invite? What we did in De La Salle University before is we surveyed students. We asked students, what are your prejudices? Let's say one student would say, my prejudice is about people who have tattoos because I fear them. I don't like to see them. The question is why, right? So we ask different kinds of people and then we compiled them. And then maybe we had this top 10. When we had the top 10, we need to find those people. Now, our challenge was to find and look for people who have tattoos to represent a group of people with tattoos. So what we found was a person with a lot of tattoos even on the face. There are many different reasons why a person would like to have a tattoo. Cultural maybe bad experience. Depends on the person. Why we have the human library is to understand the reason why they have those tattoos. And then it goes on and on. So it's like a session of maybe 30 minutes to about 1 hour. And then I will sit with you. Let's say you are the person with the tattoo. And then I would ask you, the person would say first, my experience, what was my first tattoo, my second tattoo, my third tattoo, and what are the meanings of those tattoos? And then you would definitely find out that, You know what he did? Why he had tattoos on the face? Because he felt that he was so small, that people do not understand him, that because he was nobody in the society, it's one way of getting attention. And then people would look, oh, you have a tattoo, why? And then, so that's how understanding works, respect with each other. So those are, so you can do it in your own libraries too, maybe find out the prejudice of the people, and it is a good activity actually. A good event.
So the main challenge is you need to research first the audience that you want to.
Yes, we go back to the activity of the library when buying collections. Human books are like collections. Before we buy something, we have to ask what are the programs. We have computer science, education, engineering, and then that's how it works too. It's like collection acquisition.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Joseph.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think it's a question is very good question, and it's making us to be aware about many things over there that we have to understand. Yeah. Okay. Now we invite other questions. We still have a time, I think. Yeah. Okay. Please. Any other? Raise your hands. Okay. If not questions, so I am going to move to question from chat. I will read the questions first from Harry Abi from EC Yogyakarta. The first question, how to motivate librarians to do cultural preservation, because so far librarian publication focus on library and information science. Yeah, I think the point how to motivate librarians to do the cultural preservation. And the second question from Abi, how we access the publication about cultural preservation produced by the students. This is the second, and the second chat, yeah, from Siti Wahyuni asking, they said, I have a question for all presenters. This is about confused librarian in this condition we are encountering the COVID-19. So what program can we use, or what the librarians can do in order to solve this condition? Thank you. Okay, this who are going to first? I think Bu Labiba.
Okay.
Or others. Or yeah, it's up to you.
Okay, maybe I'm going to answer Harry's question, Harry Abi's question. First, Harry, I'm talking about teaching learning activities. Means that it is for LIS department student. Hopefully, when they become librarians someday, they will have awareness to preserve the culture. Okay. And I think when we write about documentation, it is part of librarianship. Please correct me if I'm wrong. So I think that's no problem at all, because it is part of the librarianship itself. And how I motivate my librarians to preserve the culture? First, I built a Sunan Kalijaga corner in my my library. So I asked them to deal with manuscript and other Islamic culture, and I put it on their job description, so they have to do it. So I think it's pretty clearly. And for the to access our student cultural exhibition, you can go to Instagram. At Pameran Budaya IDKS, at Pameran Budaya IDKS, and I will write it down on the chat box, Harry. Thank you so much. Please unmute yourself, Dr. Nurdin.
Sorry. Okay, thank you. I always forget. Sorry. So, because there was already raising hand for question, so after that we are going to answer the chat question. So we move first to what is direct question from Dr. Adoni, please. Dr. Adoni, you hear me, please?
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
Pak Nurdin.
Yeah.
I don't want to ask a question, but I want to tell something to the audience.
Okay.
I think issues about libraries in Indonesia is, in my opinion, okay, related to information technology, community information literacy skills, I mean, digitization and application of library science and of other fields. For example, information retrieval as Bu Marwiyah presentation about advanced search menu of Google. That's ours. That's librarian. And what Bu Labibah mentioned, these issues should affect the direction of librarianship education. We are still busy talking about conceptual matters, and even then only about libraries without being associated with other fields of science. In fact, librarianship in Indonesia is dealing with issues that seem to be missed from the attention of librarian educators. I only hope that we will soon realize that the longer the scientific field of librarianship is being used by other fields of science, they do not even know that so far we are the ones busy talking about it. So our science is still stolen by others. We have to do this in librarianship education. That's only. Thank you very much, Pak Nurdin.
Okay, thank you very much for your explanation, and it could be also sorry. Okay, thank you. I couldn't unmute. Please help me. Hey. Okay, it's already. You hear? Sorry.
I'm Heri Adi from UPI Jakarta. I have still question.
Sorry, I couldn't hear your sound. Could you please raise your sound? But I don't know. Is the speaker hearing clear the question of Abi? Hello.
Hello. Good morning, Mr. Nurdin.
Yeah. Morning.
I'm sorry. I still have question for Ms. Labibah. Can I ask Ms. Labibah?
I cannot hear you, Harry.
Yeah.
You can write your question again on your chat box, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's great.
Great.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Nurdin and Ms. Labibah. I think maybe I will continue my question. Okay. I think it's big job for Indonesian for preserving culture, because I think we have many tradition and many province in Indonesia. So I think we cannot do it by just one institution or by ourselves. So I think in Yogyakarta, we know about Yogyakarta. The portal give information about culture of Yogyakarta. Our National Library, they have a portal for temple in Indonesia, but many culture not yet documentation. So I think it's a big job for Indonesia. But how we initiation for invite many people can make documentation and make participation for cultural preservation. Thanks, Bu Labiba.
Okay, thank you, Abi. I think Bu Labiba can answer directly.
Okay, Harry, it is a big job. Yeah, I know that it's big job, but it's not impossible to do that because we can divide it the job into the public library. For example, Sleman's public library can focus on the Sleman culture, and Bantul can focus on the Bantul culture. If every single public library did the same kind of preservation activities, so all the culture of not all but most of the culture will be preserved. But we need good cooperation and good partnership and network among public libraries.
Okay.
Okay, thank
clear,
you for your answer, Ibu Labiba.
Thank you, Harry.
Yeah.
Okay, we invite another questions. Any other questions? Please raise your hand, and maybe the host can help me. That what is the person who are going to ask? Hello. Hello.
Yes, exactly, Pak Ardoni. It's not public library. Yeah, you make the points. It's not only public library, but also it is the responsibility of all library. But in this case, public library more concerns with the society around them, so they have to do more than other libraries. Thank you, Pak Ardoni.
Okay. Any question? Or I think the other speaker can give a comment to the Dr. Doni's statements. Pak Putu maybe want to give what is response?
Yeah, probably. Basically, I think what have been discussed so far was the particular management or particular technique or of running of library, and as I mentioned it earlier and at the beginning of my speech, the biggest problem of our librarianships is because it has been so long detached from the reality of the society. What is the real problem of society, especially in its core activities, which is supporting or developing literature or literacy in the society, in each their place in the society. So, for example, even starting from the libraries at primary education, the secondary education, and so forth, and higher education, each of those library has as a particular duty or task of increasing literacy and literature and what we call a reading habit, which will help everyone to develop their knowledge. So this is the essence of librarianships everywhere, and which is also the essence of pustaka as a tradition. Pustaka existed a long time ago in Indonesia and still exists now, basically to help others, to help the society to develop itself by reading. Now, reading has evolved, of course, because of the technology. Reading has evolved. We are no longer only have paper or printed material, for example. But this doesn't mean that librarianship has changed so much in that duty for enhancing literacy and literature, and to keep encouraging people to develop their knowledge, but without being also knowledgeable in the condition of the society that they serve, librarianship will not develop. That's the main thing. So no matter what technique or what technology you are using, unless you understand the real problem or the real issue or the real cultural issues of each community that you serve, you will not get far. So that's the essence of I think this why we call this conference, or why we put a multicultural word in the title of this conference, is because we would like to encourage librarians to start studying their own culture first, before helping them to develop the culture. This is the essence. It's not only about conceptual, like Dr. Adoni said. This is nothing to do with concept. It is nothing. Is mostly do with the misconception of librarianship in Indonesia. We imported librarianships from Europe, and then started to forget about our own tradition, our own librarianships, for example. So this is the case of our librarianship in Indonesia. It's not because we don't have a concept. It's just because we misunderstand the concept. So and with that goes all the misunderstanding and all the misplaced program of our institution in every level. I think that's the case. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Putu. I still have 3 questions from the chat. So I think, because we have a very limited time, and we will be finished this conference at 11:30. So still have 5 questions. What is 5 minutes? Then I hope the question from the audience through chat can be answered. Yeah. Let me read the question from Siti Wahyuni. I have a question for all presenters. This is about the confusing situation for librarians in the corona virus pandemic time. So the question, how to encounter this condition according to the all presenters. And the second question, especially special to what is addressed to Bu Labiba, is the same between local content and local culture. Is the same between the meaning of local content and local culture. And the last is a question from Fitri Milfayanti, addressed to the question to Mr. Yap. What I should prepare to be a human library? Thank you. Okay, please respond in these questions. I don't know who are going to start. Maybe
Mr. Yap.
Yeah,
Start
Mr. Yap.
first. Yeah.
So what should I address first? How to cope up with COVID?
It's up to you. Maybe the first.
There are many questions here. Okay. COVID-19 came in Kazakhstan pretty same with other countries mid-March. The only way, we are not ready. No one is prepared, right? So all we have to do is be flexible and adapt to it. It's already here. That's why You need to have a sound decision making, what to do next. So when the virus came, when the pandemic was here, all we have to do is change some of our things and transform it virtually. Let's say I am a reference librarian. What we did in the department, in the office, was to uh, make sure that our information literacy are going to be virtual. We need to meet, we need to change our presentations, we need to record them. It may be synchronous, asynchronous, so it depends. Now we've heard a lot of best practices about this already. So all we have to do is be flexible and adapt to it. Make sure there's connectedness. We need to check on each other. We need to check on our colleagues. What was it difficult for you to handle? And then we talk, because of course, everybody is different. At home, we have different kinds of situation. And probably some of us are lucky. We have internet connection, it's stable, we have computers. Some of us deal with our family members. We need to some houses might not be so silent, so it's very difficult. So just to make sure that we are not that all these challenges, we still have to rise above it, and we have to make sure that we think of our academic community and serve our purpose. We don't have to compete with others, we just have to deliver the same way as how we deliver physically. Now the next question is how to prepare for the human library event, right? So like any other events, there must be a planning. Let's start with planning and identify your committee members. How many will join human library? Of course, this must be budget, right? So it should be the library director who would be telling you, oh, let's start a human library program. So what to do next? So identify what are your requirements for human library. Like what I said earlier, you have to know the human books that you want to invite. You have to make sure there are consent forms. You have to make sure they agree on it, that they voluntarily submit to be part of it, because human library's goal is to make sure that they share stories, that dialogue is there, that there's understanding and communication. And afterwards, you have to think of the marketing, other things, marketing, tokens, physical setup, like any other event, like handling a conference. So it's practically the same. So I hope I answered those questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Yao. I think it's a very clear answer to those questions. And the second response, maybe Bu Marwia, are you there still? Bu Marwi?
Yeah.
Yeah, could you respond what is one question for all presenters asking? Have you got the what is the question? Have you get the questions? Yeah, about the condition, how how the librarians, yeah. Okay, please.
From Pak Ruslan, you mean Pak Dudin?
Yeah.
Okay. This is about copyrights in the global knowledge hard issue, in the global knowledge, because sometimes we forgot about the copyright, so we can just access and use it without citing properly. And I think when we searching in the Google and we find, for example, picture, so we know that the picture has copyright, and Google will remind us by writing on the picture that even this picture has copyright. So as a user, I think we have responsibility to always remember that if I set this picture, so I have to acknowledge the owner of the picture. Or even when in the document, when we talk about open access, means that we can use it freely without have to pay. But when we then use this information for example, for academic activities, so we have to acknowledge the owner of the information. So I think when we live in the global knowledge, I mean that we have to information literate, so we can we know how to use information ethically. Responsibility. It is our responsibility to acknowledge that this is not mine. This is somebody else's information. But we cite this, so we have to responsible to write the owner of the information. So once again, being information literate is important.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Bu Marwia. It is a very clear answer to the question. And before I want Pak Pu to close it, the response. So I let first Bu Labiba answer the special question to you, please.
Is it Bu Labiba or me?
Bu Labiba, are you still?
Okay.
Okay, sorry. I have to unmute. I forgot. Okay.
Bu Labiba.
Okay, thank you so much. What I mean by culture in my presentation is broader terms. Culture is a product of action, including coverings, dancing, traditional songs, traditional story. And what I mean by the local content is the value that's come in the culture. For example, if you sing, there is lyrics, and this is become the contents, become the local content. But sometimes local content can be defined as institutional repository. It means that work done by our institutional people. But in this opportunity, what I mean by local content is the value in the culture, the value that you find in the culture that has a lot of local wisdom and knowledge. Thank you, Pak Nurdin.
Okay, thank you very much, Bu Labiba. And now I think we come to the end response to the questions, because we also come to the end of the time what is provided by the committee. So I please Pak Putu to give what is final response to the question.
Yeah, I think I'll just like to give a general comment on all the questions, and but basically also to answer the last question regarding how we can contribute to the issue of COVID, for example. I think this is a good instance of how can library and librarianships functioning in a society in terms of responding to the real issue. And I would like to also stress that work by library and our contribution by library is usually can only be measured in long term. So librarianship has been always in the background, and this is because we tend to compare librarianships with, for example, Google and the technology nowadays provide you with instant answer, instant response. So like what being presented by Bu Maria, for example, Google is the answer. You know, people perceive it as the answer of all questions, of all issues in human life, and they are all instances. You know, in a very fast way. But you need to also think about the useful of the answer. I mean, how can we use our instant knowledge to respond to instant issues or recent issues or the actual issue of life. This is when libraries can play much role, and more important role than Google, for example, or than any other technology that we are so accustomed to use now, YouTube or whatever, or social media. So when it comes to COVID, for example, I would like to use the example of what is happening in Australia, for example. When COVID, when the government decided to lock down the society, I mean the city, for example, Melbourne, when it is being locked down. Well, library has also been locked down. And well, for the time being, library can provide with any information online. That's what usually our perception of the function of library. When you are locked down physically, then you can go to virtual libraries and provide information virtually. But that's not the case with Melbourne librarians. They don't really jump into the technology. They recede, they step back, and they let other institutions, other more authoritative institutions, for example, the Department of Health and the police and the central government, to provide information. They recede, they step back. They said this is not the time for us to function. This is the time for all the other institutions to provide quick answer to every quick questions. The actual question that came up from the societies regarding the virus. And also I agree with everyone that COVID is a very, very, what do you call that? A thing that's very make everyone confused, not only the librarian confused, but everyone is confused. So at the time of that, instant answer, authoritative information is more important than others. So at that time, usually libraries step back. So that's what my first response. If you ask me, what should library do during this crisis caused by COVID or caused by the pandemic, I said, step back, let other authorities do the job, right? Now, after that, libraries should provide with all background information that they are very good at. Library support society not by providing instant answers, but by providing profound or real answers. That's what we call real answer, provided by researching first. Now, this is the function of libraries. So in short, no, library cannot contribute quickly at this time of confusing and very rapid development of the virus. No, step back, do research, and then provide basic or background information of any issues, virus, pandemic, social problem, social issues regarding how to respond to the pandemic and everything. This is the function of library in the society at this time of the pandemic. I think that is the question, the answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your what is very, very interesting and what is response, and I think inspiring answer to all questions, to all what is they ask for this to this conference. And because our time is very limited, I don't want to make a conclusion, but I just want to highlight one word from one word for each speaker. The first, I think we know, become aware that beside collection library, we have also human library. So I think even though it is already established, began from around 20 years ago, but now I think it is still new in Indonesia, as Mr. Yap mentioned that still we found 2 human library in Indonesia, and it is new. Then I think it is very important for us to be what is make perspective more richer. And then the second speaker is what is make us aware that actually Indonesia has has original words for the library, but why we import and what is import a word from Europe and forget our original word for librarianship. So I think it's a very, very important point for this conference for us to beg to see our original way of developing our literacy, knowledge, information, etc. And the third speaker, I think also what is making reach our perspective in seeing, in looking at that there are many things that we as a librarian or librarianship practitioner should do, yeah, especially how to to document cultural heritage. And I think this will become information, very important information for the future. But if we are not to try to document such culture, then we will lose maybe 50 years to come and 100 years, etc. So this is a very important for this conference to be aware, yeah, to make richer our perspective to see how our field interact with the social society in various backgrounds and other and many other things. Yeah. And the last also, you know, I think information retrieval is a very important from the classical time until now. Yeah, because especially now we come to the the internet era, and even we are in the big data, the explosion of information. If we do not develop ourselves in how to find many kinds, or to develop the way of searching our knowledge, how to develop the searching way, and etc. So we will misled in knowledge world. So information retrieval is very, very important for this conference. So I think, yeah, maybe the basic ideas for the four speakers is that we come to be aware that our field has a very rich in objects. Then we have to be trying to involve in those fields in order to show up ourselves to be still exist in the information in competing world like today. And also the last basic thing I seen this conference invite us to be how to aware differences, in society, many things that we have to understand. We have to we have to know in order to be become empathetic to the thing that I think it is something that maybe we see it is funny, it is something different from us, from the mainstream, etc. Okay, because the time is very limited, then there is a chat from committee to announce to audience that later in 13 we will have a cold paper session and I hope you all ideas can be still involved in the discussion, in the sessions, in order to make what is proposed many kind of perspective, and we can discuss all of things. And the end that we hope our library field will become more appreciated by other field, and also making benefit for the world. Okay, because the times, yeah, we pass actually in the schedule we have to finish 11, but you know we started also a little bit late, so we ended also a little bit late. I think it is fair. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. I say thank you very much to Mr. Yap for your very useful sharing knowledge, and also Pak Putu is a very important what your delivering to our audience here. And also thank you to Ms. Labiba Sains, giving us a new perspective also in documenting cultural heritage, and also Bu Marvia. Thank you very much for all your contributions, and I think that's all for today. Thank you very much. We close it. Yeah. This meeting, and yeah, it's ended. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. We please.
Photo session, Pak Nurdin.
Huh? What?
Photo session.
What session?
Photo session. Photo
Photo
session.
session. Okay. Sorry. Okay, please. Host in.
Bukan di abak-abak.
We still have 2025 participants. The top up, how many?
About
How much number
345.
In top.
Yeah, in the morning we have 345 participants, Pak Nurdin.
Oh, great. Thank you, Pak Ardoni.
So, Torek.
You're welcome, Pak Nurdin. Thank you, Pak Putu.
Is it photo picture done already, Torek?
Yes,
I'm not ready.
Yeah.
It's already.
It's already done, photo picture. You have to give sign to us, Torek.
Yes,
Slide
please
1.
on your camera.
Okay.
Sudah.
Maybe on my mark. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
You smile.
Ardoni.
Thank you.
Hey, Bu Labiba, thank you very much.
Thank you so
Pak
much
Putu.
for joining us.
I actually hope Pak Ardoni come physically to Jogja.
Yeah, exactly.
I hope I can. And I will.
Ardoni already missed Teater SK.
Yeah.
To have a cup of coffee there.
I like it.
I'd like to say